Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins, from the Mike Martins channel. Anyways, guys, I got an article from the year 2015 from November 1st. And it's very concerning. I kind of dug into it and kind of found more PDFs and kind of dug into. Apparently, it was debunked, but it's not debunked. I want you guys to look at this, and I want you guys to comment below what you guys have heard of this, because this is huge, okay? If a lot of people, for those that don't know, living in the other parts of the Commonwealth, Canada has been struggling with a massive homeless crisis. The city of Vancouver is just plagued with opioids and fentanyl, and just the amount of body bags that go in and out of that city is phenomenal. Edmonton, Calgary. Yeah, they've had homeless problems before, but it's getting out of control and rampant. All right? Homeless going up in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Regina. In Saskatoon. Homelessness out of control. Zombie homeless living in Winnipeg. Then you got huge problems in the downtown core and spreading through all the suburbs in the Greater Toronto area. It's just this phenomena that's not being addressed or issued or taken care of. Because Canada, at one point back in the early 80s, all you had to do was get a job and work. That's it. You had a job, you could afford to live in an apartment, you could afford to buy food, you could pay your car insurance and pay off a car in a few years. Literally, that's all you needed was just an average paying job. Now, you have 3 average paying jobs, you can't even do anything with it. So, I kind of want to throw this out there because I don't think Canada is investing in Canadians anymore. Oh, we're doing student loans, Mike. What are you talking? Well, ever since they federalized student loans, since they became federalized, since students' loans became federalized, it went from $400 a semester to $4,000 a semester in a mere 18 years. And from 1959 to the early 80s, you could $300-400 a semester, and that included your books. And the price increase in federal, in the student loans before it became federalized was an $8 or $2 a year increase. Not this craziness. So this is what I'm concerned about, right? We had Mario Desetti's Lost Canuck talking about this, and I want to know if this is a myth or this is true. Canada's pension fund ready to invest $2 billion in affordable housing in India, officials say. $2 billion in affordable housing in India. How does that work? When the federal government, okay, this is federal, of course, when the federal government is not investing in the Canadian proper. The Canadian proper gets nothing. The Canadian proper built the infrastructure, and then now they're not needed anymore. Like a bunch of Portuguese came over in the 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s, built the infrastructure in Ontario, Italians and Greeks, and they're no longer required anymore. There's no immigration coming from those countries anymore. Canada closed immigration from those countries. Canada's pension fund is ready to invest $2 billion in affordable housing in Mumbai, a top Indian official said, in a move that would boost Prime Minister Narendra Modi's goal for providing cheap housing to millions of people. A week back, Canadian ambassador informed me and the Canadian Pension Fund is ready to invest $2 billion in Mumbai for affordable housing. Deverna Fadnavis, Chief Minister of Maharashtra State in Mumbai, is located, told reporters. Canadian Pension Plan Investment Board opened an office in Mumbai this month and has already committed to invest more than $2 billion in India. And I'm concerned about the Canadian proper that, why aren't we being invested in anymore? Education's overpriced. Education's become a business. And then employers can afford to hire employees because the governments are no longer investing in small-time businesses. The current government said that small business owners are crooks, are criminals, because they don't file their taxes properly. I've been audited 4 or 5 times to the T. And sometimes I'm owed back money after I get audited because I made a mistake or I paid too much, and those guys disappear. So now, I was looking, and then I found this memoir here. Okay, and this is the Canadian Plan Investment Board opens investment office in India. So the office was open in India, and by the CPP Investment Board, and it was open in Mumbai to focus on improvement opportunities across the Indian subcontinent. But I get this. Okay, they could invest in low-income housing, collect rents from people and stuff like that. But I don't believe that's... in my opinion, I just don't believe that's the case, right? So here are the people here. Private sector bank, capitalization. And then it goes into the L&T Infrastructure Development Projects. And then it goes into the Primal Enterprise Limited. These are all the companies that are getting basically funding for the projects. Okay. And then you go into right here so the article's from 2015. So then we're going to go into, this is way down. Okay, let me see if I can remember what page that was on. To the 2019 annual report, and it's right here. In 2015, open offices in Mumbai, India. Now, I'm really concerned what the deal is with this. Like, it's saying they're increasing their global footprint, blah, blah, blah. Someone's gonna have to explain this to me in the comments below how this works, because that's a lot of cake. And then here's the official development assistance. I backtrack it and cross-referenced it with this, and it's in existence. And then I had a few articles debunking it, say this is not true. Like this is not true. But then I did some investigative searching, found it, and confirmed and cross-referenced 3 different ways that this did happen. Okay, this is in existence. I don't understand. That's a lot of cake from pensioners. What if India defaults? What if they go into a heavy recession? What if India goes into some sort of federalized martial law or something, where the people in a specific class will have their rents paid for and food paid for, type of thing? Like, kind of create a cheap current. I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to think. And I'm just trying to think they're building it to collect rents or what, okay. So then we go into other stuff here. This one's from February 2018. Trudeau announces Canadian-India investment deal worth $1 billion, another $1 billion. Plan to invest in $750 million in Indian companies. I don't understand. There's so many companies. We got Husky laying off people. We got all these big conglomerates in Canada that are basically saying, we're done. We're leaving. We'll just go to the United States of America. We don't need to stay in Canada. We're in Canada doing you a favor. Like, there's rumors that several Walmarts across Canada, with this tensions with trade, with the whole China trade tensions and the headwinds and stuff, a lot of Walmart's saying, screw it, what for? Why are we going to, we're not making money anymore. What's the point? So, big corporations close down our small companies. Amazon doesn't pay tax in Canada, from what I've heard. This is from what I've heard. And supposedly doesn't pay tax, and then other big corporations don't pay tax, but the little guy pays the tax to fund these guys to operate out of Canada. It makes absolutely zero sense. And with the amount of homelessness, I don't understand what the angle of this is. Like, what's the deal? What are we getting out of this deal? That's the problem. Okay, I own my own business. I understand. And I'm an entrepreneur. I've run a very successful business here. I've ran a very successful business down in Florida. I ran very successful businesses. Cross my T's and dot my I's. But what is the deal? What is Canada getting? That's becoming a problem. And again, Trudeau government gave $250 million to Communist China's infrastructure bank. And I'm not understanding. Look, I'm not trying to throw Trudeau on the bus. Believe me, I'm not. I'm just trying to find out exactly what the angle is. I'm trying to find out who and what, where and why. I'm trying to 250 million of our taxpayer dollars. China controlled bank, 250 million of our taxpayer. You know how much that would have helped out struggling small businesses on the verge of layoffs? Do you know how many people could have been helped with this? I'm pretty sure if the bank, if Canada gave this to 250 small to medium businesses with 8 to 25 employees, okay? Struggling to just, here's $1 million to 250 different companies here in Canada. And then they boast about this on the news and make a big deal of it. And we're like, wow, liberals are really trying to create private sector jobs. In turn, they create more public sector. And I discussed that earlier. Guys, I don't know what's going on. I just want to know what the deal is. I don't care. Like, you know, I see one side, right? What's the real deal? Why is this happening? What are we getting? Are we helping create liquidity in a specific sector to eventually deleverage back into our economy? Are we looking at... I don't know. Like, I'm not trying... I can't find the angle on this. So that's why you're going to help me tonight. Give me maybe a little bit of information on how this works. Maybe I'll call this number live on my show. Here, there's a phone number here to contact them. And maybe ask them live what it is exactly with you guys listening on the phone. How this deal works and how does it what does it do for Canadians pensions. I'm just not seeing the angle. I'm just not educated enough to figure this out. It's still not coming to me. I can't figure out the angle of why this is happening. Guys, comment below. Let me know. And if you don't know, share this video. See if somebody else knows why. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.